a worthy opponent.
Jaina versus Garrosh. Victory or death.
You asked for it.
So this is pretty good. We'll keep the removal spell. We'll keep these guys because they're great. This one we don't really need, so we'll put him back. And having the coin will be nice because if he has a turn 1, then we can play one. We'll probably just play one of these turn 1 anyway. And we're gonna run out the huge toad because it can kill this without dying itself. He's just got armor up, which is fine because it probably means he didn't have much much to do there. So we'll just kill this thing and play the guy. This is kind of a disappointing turn 3 because he didn't have a 2-drop. He doesn't look like he has a 3-drop, so we should get at least a 4 out of this by playing it. But if he draws like something small and crappy, then he might play that to test what our secret is. So there's a chance this doesn't work out well, but maybe we'll get a decent 4-drop from it. And we've got the Yeti as a follow-up, which is going to be pretty good. So we've got a good amount of pressure here, and our opponent hasn't really been doing anything. Oh, cool. So we can get a Shield Master. So here we can send both of these into his blocker, or we could just use one of them. We could use like one in the torch, or we could use... Flame Cannon doesn't really make a lot of sense to use here. We could also hit with the Toad and try to power. We could hit with the Toad. Hopefully the Death Rattle will hit this and we could power, but then we're not making a turn 4 play. So that's not really very good. I guess we could Fireball it, but I'd rather save that. So we'll probably just use both of these here. Oh, or we could use this guy. That's fine. This lets us keep a pretty good board presence, because like this guy having damage on him isn't really going to matter because we're the one attacking right now, so he probably will not like take board control back this game. And that is terrible. That guy's okay. Oh, well, could use this on his 2/2. We've got a lot of removal in hand. So I think actually our play here is going to be Yeti this and heal the Yeti, power his creature, and hit with the Toad. And just keep up our board presence. We've got 10 power next turn, so we should be able to deal with whatever he plays. And we can actually, we've got 8 points of burn here. That guy we might Fireball. Or we could Flame Cannon and power that, and then hit with the Bluegill. And we should have this won pretty easily next turn. Our opponent didn't really do a whole lot this game. This kind of shows you how important it is to curve out, because this opponent used hero power on turns 2 and 3, and like we just played some guys. I mean, we played like some of our better guys, like the Toad and the Flame Juggler, but just putting some creatures out was enough to win this game, since our opponent was not doing that. The secret ended up being pretty good there too. So that went just about as well as you could expect it to, although the early rounds are usually not going to be too difficult. So hopefully we can get a good hand like that last one. Hopefully we can have a couple early plays here. This hand is a lot worse, and we are on the play here, so we're going to mulligan all of these, and hopefully we can hit a 2-drop, maybe even the 1-drop. Oh, there's a good 2. Alright, this hand is fine. It's not super exciting, but this guy's pretty good. So we will pass and see what they've got. Hopefully he plays something that the Flame Juggler can kill, and we just get to hit it. Oh, well, that's alright. Oh, that's actually pretty bad for us. Now it is fairly important that our Flame Juggler gets the 1 in 4 chance here of hitting this thing, because it can just kill him. And we don't really want to have to power it next turn, but I guess we're not really making a good play the turn after this anyway. And that was terrible. Bad Flame Juggler. Bad. But we may be too far behind here to even do anything. This is a pretty fast start from him. I guess we'll just, well, yeah, we'll just play the guy. If he does use this at any point to hit one of our 2 power creatures, then we'll be able to power to finish this thing off. And next turn we can, if he does hit our creature, we can power and play this kobold, or play one of our 4-drops. We'll go here and get a 3-power creature. If the opponent doesn't have a whole lot to do, we may be able to catch up in this game. Having a 3-drop might be nice, because we will likely want to use the power next turn, either on this or on this. He should kill one of these, I think. I think it's better to hit one of our creatures. Oh, he's just going face, okay. So, Torch is actually really just the 3-drop we wanted, so we can shoot you. We can shoot. And we can Torch. And we can hit.
Well played.
Why, thank you. And, yeah, now we got a couple guys. So we've actually got card advantage, and we've lost a lot of, like, time in this game. But this is a better position than we were in before. Oh, I think we just want to make 2 plays here. So we'll run out this and this and hit. I used the sheep to hit his creature there, because it's likely that it would just die to his power. He's got a reason to use his power, because he wants to pump the toughness on this thing, and it's better to get some damage put on his guy instead of just hitting face and losing our sheep without affecting his board, because now we can power to finish this thing off. And or we could Flame Juggler to finish it off. We can Flame Juggler and Pit Fighter. But if we Flame Juggler and miss, we have to power this. So I think it's better to just get the sure thing. Next turn we have Kodo Rider, which is nice. It like at any point here he could really just like double fireball us, and that would be pretty bad. Or this is also pretty bad since we don't have any way to stop that. But we'll try. He only needs 3 extra damage at this point, so like a Frostbolt or a Torch or anything kills us. I guess we'd play this and maybe get Vaporize. Ice Block could be good. Although it just leaves us at 1. I guess we could take the Ice Block and hope to draw our heal creature.
What to do? What to do?
This probably won't hit either of these things. If it hits here, we need 2 damage to kill it. I don't think the Ice Block is actually going to do it for us, because he can just power us the turn after that. So we will take this Torch. And we'll get some guys. And we are probably dead here, but if he doesn't have much reach, there's a chance we could take this game back. It's pretty unlikely since he can just kill us in a few turns with the power. Do you have burn? I'm sure you do. He's got 3 cards in it. He's got to have something to kill us. There we go. Probably do it. Well played.
Well played.
We've got 11, 13, 15, and 9 there. Huh. We're just, right, 11, 13, 15,
What to do?
21,
What to do?
24 damage that we can do this turn. We need to remove this and this. We can hit, torch something. We could probably torch this, so we'll go torch, hit, and get the Kodo, and this gives us 11, 14. Oh, maybe we should have gone face with something here. Well, this is a good sign. If he blows up the sheep to kill our pit fighter, that's a really good sign for us, because it saves us a turn of taking damage from his power.
Taste the mana.
She can taste the mana. The mana has been tasted. We do want to power this turn. We're probably going to have to hit the face with that. I guess we could actually just hit... We want to do a lot of damage to this opponent, and this being alive gives them incentive to use the Fire Blast here, so we will hit this, and just get our Jormungar. And if they don't kill us this turn, I think we've got it. So this would be a really surprising game to win, but they may have just been holding on to a Frostbolt or something. Although I think if they had a way to kill us, they should have done it. So we'll see here. It's nice that they gave us the well played already. Is this the burn spell? You just okay, cool. Well played.
Well played.
Boom, boom. And I really did not expect that to be a win, but I guess that's why you don't. That's why you don't scoop it up early. You know, keep going, because maybe it works out. I'll do one more here. That was very surprising that we ended up being able to come back in that after the opponent having such a aggressive start. But drawing the torch was a really big deal because it let us actually remove his. I think it was a 5/3 worm at the time. So that was a big turning point in the game, and it was kind of shocking that the opponent just didn't have any kind of burn to finish us off with. But here we've got pretty bad stuff. Actually, I think I want to keep this Elise just because I've never played the card, and I guess it would be good to get the map in early. No, I don't think we can. I don't think we can do that. That's a silly thing to do. We will keep the Bluegill Warrior because we might need to. We might need to coin this out to remove like a Flame Imp. And oh, nice. We got some good cards here. Do we want to coin something? I think we do. This will be good because we can actually set up, like I was saying before, we can set up trades to make this better. So let's coin out a 2/3. Hopefully we don't regret that, because like sometimes it turns out you wanted to save the coin for later. But I generally use this pretty early, just because it's so important to get the board control. And this lets us set up our trade for this thing before he even plays it. And now we can, actually we could Bluegill Warrior this. So if we trade, we can Flame Juggler. If we Bluegill Warrior it, this is like a 2/2 or a 2/3, and we lose the Bluegill from hand. If we trade, we just play Flame Juggle, and then we still have a 2/3. So it's better to just make this attack here. Sometimes, I know that was a lot of like analysis of that turn for like a play that it didn't really make a lot of. It didn't really matter that much one way or the other, but sometimes those like little edges are the things that will have like a big impact on the game. Here we probably want to hit this. We probably want to kill it, so we'll use the Bluegill Warrior here. And this gives him 2 imps, which is pretty bad, but it gives us more targets for our Flame Juggler. And unfortunately, he's going to use one of those to kill the 2/1, which is going to mean our Drake is a little bit worse. So it actually may have been better to just hit and heal this, and then we have a 2/3 and a 3/3 versus his 1/1 and 2/2. That actually was probably a better play because it would leave us with more of a board on our next turn, even though his Imp Gang boss was still alive. So this is that actually may have been a big mistake on my part, but here we could play the Flame Juggler, and it's likely to hit one of his creatures here. And if we don't hit the 2/3 with it, then we can use our power to finish off the other of these, or we could just play this. That's fine too. Good old Water Elemental. He can actually trade his whole board in for this. Now he can trade a couple creatures in, but we get 2 creatures and a Divine Shield for this. And I think that is decent for us. We're still in like the position of not being able to make the trades on our turn, so this is just going to be very, very bad because of that. And that is unfortunate. But play this guy, and oh no. Oh no. So bad. Now we have to power this. Why, thank you. Oh no. That was the worst thing you could do, Flame Juggler. That's okay, I guess. He might make a trade here. He might trade the 5/2 for our 2/3. And if he just wants to go face, that's fine because it lets us keep our board. The more I think about this, I think that the Earthen Ring Farseer actually was the best turn 3 play because it would have, because we have the Volcanic Drake in hand, it would have set us up to play that at a discount. And like at this point, it's really just going to be stuck in our hand. It's like we're probably not going to be able to play it until like after the Pit Fighter. Like maybe we could play the Pit Fighter, hit something, and like play the Volcanic Drake for 5. But then we're playing like, I don't know. It's just very bad. So that might be like turn 7. We're playing a Volcanic Drake for 5 and using the power. If we're using the power, we would want to use that first. So maybe we're going to turn 8, use the power, play the Volcanic Drake for 4. Well, Sunwalker is a decent card, although he's got some cheap ways to remove our Divine Shield. We probably want to use the power on this thing here, which leaves us with either the Farseer or the Mirror Entity that we can play. And he probably has Pump in his deck, but he may not have it yet, so we'll run this guy out. Heal ourselves. We should have had this, several turns ago. Hopefully he doesn't have like an abusive Sergeant to finish this thing. I wonder if it's also interesting that we could have played Mirror Entity, and if he didn't have a worse creature in his hand, we could also have one of these. We need to remove this thing, which is going to be an 8/8 his turn. We can make this a 5-mana card. This would be the best thing to kill it with. We don't really want to have to use the Sunwalker here, so we can hit. And that's 5. Do we want the power, or do we just want to play a creature? I think we just want to have a thing out, so we'll play this and this crappy guy, and then And again, like if our opponent just doesn't have a lot here, we may be able to take the take our board position back here. It really depends on like what follow-ups he's got and if he's got any like quick removal. Like if he has a Kraken next turn, that would be very, very bad for us. We don't have a good answer to it. That guy's also pretty bad for us. He'll probably go face with the 8. Oh no, he just hits with the 8. Okay, that's fine because we were gonna use that on it anyway. No, I really wish we had played this thing, but he's got to have something small that he's just not running out here. Like if we played this, then he probably would have not have played the 2 of these. He would have put something smaller out first. So we're gonna send this in here. This guy could send it in here, and this becomes an 8/5. So if we send this guy in here, play Sunwalker and power this, and then it leaves him in an awkward position. It's not, you don't always want to just like use up your creatures to put damage on theirs, but I think here it's okay. Maybe we actually huge Toad, because we could just power it the turn after that.
Runs out on me.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, he has a lot of cards at this point, and we have the only thing we're really ahead on is we're up by a very small amount of life, which is hardly going to be relevant here. So we are not. This is not going to go great for us. Here we can. Man, we can't do a whole lot here because we could torch this and hit with the frog, the toad. This is going to go down to an 8/2. So if we want to do the most risky play, we can hope that the toad gets a 33% chance of hitting this, which I think we need to do. I guess another option would be hit here and trade, but then we don't have a way to finish this. So I think we need to just make the risky play here since we're behind in like everything. Well, that's no good. Thank you. And we'll pit fighter here. I think we're in trouble now. He's up by 6 cards in hand and 1 on the board, so he's like 7 cards ahead of us. This game didn't work out well. It's interesting how much the game can like get carried away from an early point. Because if we had made the different turn 3 play of playing the Earthen Ring Farseer, then we would have been in a better position to control our opponent's board throughout this whole thing, and we could have made better trades and had the dragon out at a time when it would have mattered. I guess we'll draw the card here. I think we're dead. Oh, there's Elise. Let's play Elise.
Do you have the artifact?
He's got a lot of damage. He's got is this 15 damage here? Next turn, so we go to 9. We'll let him kill us. We'll go one more turn, but we're almost certainly dead. I don't know what this map does. So the map gets shuffled into our deck, and then I believe the Golden Monkey is a big taunt, and it makes your hand and deck into legendary. So maybe we just get 2 really good top decks, and we top deck the map. I think the map cantrips also, so it draws us a card. So maybe if we I don't know if it's possible to draw the map and then draw the Golden Monkey, but if we could do that might be an out here. I think that'd be about the only thing we could do. We'll see. It's a very small chance, but we may as well try. If we don't get anything next turn, we're obviously pretty dead, so it doesn't really hurt to wait until his turn is over. And that doesn't do it, so we will concede. Well played.